9 Plus Us presents the Baseball Together podcast with your hosts, Blackjack Brad and Kansas City Little Big Briggy Blue Eyes. And now, Baseball Together.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Baseball Together podcast, Baseball Family. I am Brad, and this week I am joined by Brig.
What up? In the
The
house.
gang's back together. The gang is back together.
Yes.
It seems like it's been a really long time, Brig.
Well, it has, Brad.
I mean, it's been, 3 weeks now? Something like
Yeah,
that?
2
It's been
or
a
3?
while.
I don't know.
Yeah, 2 episodes.
Too
I don't
much.
know. Yeah, anyway, we're back together, and we got a great episode coming up for you. But first, before we do that, let's talk about how you can get in touch with the show. You can join the Facebook group, 9 Plus Us VIPs. Search 9 Plus Us, 9 Plus Us VIPs on Facebook, and send a request. We will add you. You can also email us by submitting to our mailbag on baseballtogether.com. There is a link in the show description on iTunes, everywhere you get your podcasts, and also on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram at Baseball Together. You can follow us on Twitter at Baseball, the number 2 Together. That's Baseball 2 Together. You can also follow me on Twitter at JoJo Cornrow. All right, let's get into this.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so news has been really slow as of late. Little thing going on in case nobody's heard. A little quarantine business. No sports in the world. However, there is still some news. So first off, we have Chris Sale.
Oh.
Okay? So they've been talking about how he's had a little bit of, I think it was forearm tenderness, kind of like what Severino had, right?
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Went and saw a couple doctors, went and saw the infamous Dr. James Andrews. And anybody who knows if a pitcher is going to see Dr. James Andrews, then that's immediately trouble. I mean, at that point, it's Tommy John.
Pretty good indicator. Yeah.
Yeah, but he came away and he didn't say he needed Tommy John at the time, which I think is weird because I'm sure that he didn't do anything between then and now. But
not much.
Out, yeah, but turns out needs Tommy John.
Yeah.
Now, Brig, when this news came down, sorry. I'm not sick. Trust me on that.
We both have seasonal allergies. Back off.
We do. That's right.
I've got allergies.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
Me too.
But anyways, when this came down, I thought of the timing on this whole thing. I mean, really, as far as medicine goes, the timing could not have been worse.
Well,
But
yeah, absolutely.
As far as the world of sports goes, I mean, to me, Brig, it seems like it couldn't have been better. I mean, what do you think?
I think it could have been better. I think
it could have been better?
Yeah, I think he could have done it when Severino did it.
Yeah, or even because I'm sure it was hurt back in November.
Right. October, November. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So they probably could have done it then. So yeah, that's true. The timing could have been better,
But
it
only
could have
just
been a month ago.
Only just. If they were hoping to get a
Yeah.
full season out of him, and now they know nobody's going to get a full season, it's like
Yeah,
whatever. And I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I think
Right.
like if I were the Boston Red Sox, I wish we'd have pulled the trigger. Similar time frame to when the Yankees pulled the trigger before we knew the season was going to be postponed, but you don't know, hindsight and all that.
yeah, exactly. Hindsight's 2020, but at the same time, where they're not going to get a full season out of him, I think this is like, okay, if this is the year you're going to do it, this is the year to get it done. So.
I agree with you.
Sorry, I need to get a drink. Hold on.
Evens the playing field a little bit.
Yeah.
For us, for the Yankees fans, we're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it does. It's true because, I mean, he's been so dominant the last 2-3 years that, yeah, I mean,
well, when he's
kinda
on,
takes him out.
yeah.
When he's on.
When he's off, it's ugly, man. When he's on, it's like 17 strikeouts, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, he's unhittable when he's on.
Yeah, literally, the best in the business.
Him and Garrett Cole.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not actually upset.
Bummer for Chris Sale. Bummer for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
But like we said, if this is the year, this is the best year to do it.
I agree.
Okay. So speaking of a shortened season,
Yeah.
We have the Players Association, the Major League Baseball Players Association, is brought up something that I didn't actually think that it might be an issue, but what they're asking for is a full year of service if the season is shortened or possibly canceled, worst case scenario.
Oh my, don't even go there, Brad. Hold on. Do you think they'll cancel the season? Like, let's stop and talk about what are the chances of this.
Well, I was going to wait until later, but
okay,
yeah, we can talk about this right now.
Well, or we can wait. I don't care.
Let's go ahead and let's wait on it.
Well, we'll wait then, Brad.
Okay, we'll wait.
Fine.
Let's wait then.
All right. Do you?
Okay. So,
all right.
Brig, first, I want to know what's your opinion on this. Do the players deserve a full year of service if the season is shortened or canceled?
No.
Shortened? Do you think?
No.
Why not? Riddle me that.
Because I don't know. It depends on which side of the argument you want to fall on, Brad. Like,
well,
are we talking? Are we talking like arbitration issues here, or are we talking about?
Oh yeah,
pay.
Yeah, full on going into arbitration.
But are we talking about pay, or I mean, are we siding with the owners and the team? Like, what are we talking about here?
Oh, okay. So, I mean, think about it this way. So, if Chris Bryant gets a full year of service time if the season is canceled, where does that leave him next year?
No, exactly.
He's 1 year closer to free agency.
That's right. That's
However,
with no more statistical evidence to enhance his bid prospects.
Exactly. Yes. If they play a shortened season, it's the same thing. If they play a full season, same thing. So,
right.
Either way, whatever scenario, if this goes through at the end of this calendar season or whatever, season year, whatever, I don't know. At the end of come November 1st, whatever.
Right. Or Christmas at this point.
He'd be 1 year closer to free agency, right?
Okay. Yes.
So what I want to know, Brig, is should he get that if they cancel the season, or should he get that if they shorten the season, or should it just all be off the table?
I would take it all off the table. I say no.
All the way off the table?
I say no, because you have to stop. You have to measure something. And if there's no season, there's nothing to measure. And if there's a shortened season, then how are you going to evaluate the trade prospects? How are you going to how does that set up a guy for success or failure in the future? Because Chris Bryant's an anomaly, right? Chris Bryant, this is on the fringe of the conversation. Well, I'm talking about the dudes in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's a disservice to them.
You caught me in the middle of a drink.
Oh, of course I did.
Of course, always. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing for me. Service time is time played, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like if they play a shortened season, then yeah, give the guys a full year because they played the full season. What was given to them?
Okay.
Right.
Sure. I mean,
but prorate it. Say if a guy plays, say it's best case scenario, I don't know, just for numbers' sake, we'll say they play 100 games.
Okay.
Just to make numbers easy. So if a guy plays 50 games, he gets 50% of the available service time.
But
does that make sense?
What are you going to have his contract come up in the middle of the season?
No.
Okay.
No, it's always the end of the year, right? I mean, there are guys who come up in the middle of the year all the time, and then they end up accruing their full service time in the middle of the season.
Yeah, totally.
And it's always through the season, right?
Right.
So he'll get 50%. If he plays in 50 of the games, he gets 50% of the available service time. Whatever. I can't remember. It's like 180 something.
Something like that.
Days or something like
180. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. So he gets he gets 50%. So like 90 whatever days of service time if he plays the 50 games.
Right.
If somebody plays the whole 100 games, then they get the full amount. So just prorate it if they play a shortened season. However, I do feel like if they cancel the season, nothing, because that's getting a guy closer to free agency without doing anything.
Right. That's a disservice to the teams.
Oh, it's a disservice to the players too, because that's a year that they lost on the contract.
Yes.
Because they're probably not going to get paid the full amount this year.
No, yeah, for sure. They're going to find a way to not have to pay them as much as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it's a disservice to both sides if the season is canceled,
Right.
because the player's losing a year of money, the team is losing a year of service. Like you can't do it. And I understand, like, guys, age plays a factor into that, because nobody wants to give a 30-year-old guy coming up on free agency for the first time wants to give him a 10-year contract. Right? They're more likely to give a 28 or 29-year-old a 10-year
absolutely.
contract for whatever reason. But yeah, so that's how I feel about it. Like, if they play a shortened season, they've earned it. They've earned the service time. Let them have it.
Yeah, okay.
But if there's no season, cut it. None.
I mean, I get that. I don't know. I'm so upset at this whole situation. I can't.
Yeah.
I really do believe that I am unable to think objectively about it.
I could.
That's
see
a
that.
problem for me, and
Yeah.
I think I'm not alone. I think there are a lot of other baseball people out there who, because I mean, this is unprecedented, and it doesn't matter what the industry is. We're just happen to be talking about baseball, but we've never seen anything like this before. We've never asked these questions. We've never had these problems, and that is playing a factor into how we're able to discuss it, right? Because we don't know. We don't have any. There's no precedent set.
Yeah, we have no frame of reference for anything.
Nothing.
The only thing closest as far as baseball goes is a lockout or a strike.
Right.
A work stoppage associated with that. But even then, it's a little bit more cut and dry because they negotiate that stuff as they're going through. But now it's like, well, I don't know what we're gonna do.
And they're going to have to negotiate this exactly the same way. But the problem is, this is like what most legal contracts are calling an act of God. Right? Literally a third party has interjected itself into the contract negotiations. And you can't sit that person down at a table and arbitrate.
That's absolutely
You know what I
right.
mean? There's no way. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and really at this point it's like taking it one day at a time. Like, I feel like that part is so far down the road. Like, they're eventually going to have to get to it, but working out so many logistics between now and then that I don't know if Rob Manfred is even, like, I'm sure he saw this come across his desk and like,
Table it.
why are we talking about this?
Put it where he put the Red Sox investigation.
The circular filing folder? File
Yeah. The one with the hamster in it.
Yeah. Oh, that one.
Where,
Okay,
that. Or the
yeah.
bird
I
cage
was
right
thinking
under the birds.
Cylindrical. I was thinking the cylindrical one with the other papers on it that he's played basketball with.
There you go.
Yeah,
I see what
don't
you
know.
mean.
I don't know.
It's nice. I was thinking maybe at the bottom of the bird cage would be also an appropriate place to put that.
That would be that's probably where
Same.
the Red Sox.
That's where it is. I
investigation
guarantee it.
Because
yes.
I mean, I guess getting a little bit sidetracked on this, because you would think with nothing else going on right now, he could be like, now those Red Sox and sign stealing.
He'd be like,
Take another look.
he'd
at
be
that.
like, let's get into this, man. I got nothing else to do. I got to pay
would
some people,
think.
and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. You would think, but no.
Instead, what Rob Manfred is going to do is he's going to make sure that the mound is raised 6 inches, and the plate is going to expand to 2 feet, 2.5 feet maybe wide, and 4 feet deep. Okay, and it's going to come up off the ground to the knee, so that we know you can't. It's not, the ball's never going to come below the strike zone. Nobody ever going to have to call that ever again.
It's an elevating plate, right?
That's right. Don't try to swing through it
goes
though.
Up and down according to
It's
the plate.
gonna see.
Yeah.
Here's
Oh,
what he's
no.
gonna say. We're gonna get rid of them home run swings. Nope. You're gonna level swing again. That's what we're gonna do. Solve all the problems. It'll solve all our problems. It's just gonna bring that home plate up. Make it bigger. Bring it up.
That's
Oh
right.
my
Yep.
gosh, that's exactly
what's
what he's
going
gonna
on.
do. Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't put it past him. I'll be honest.
me neither.
Not at all.
And you got to do a burpee.
Well, anyway.
You got to do. You come up to the plate. you got to do burpees or box jumps. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. That feels like the integrity of baseball is being protected. I feel that. Mm-hmm. Minimum, you have
Unless
to
they really
adjust
feel
your gloves 3 times. If you don't adjust your gloves 3 times, automatic strike. Umpires are watching. The robot umpire's watching.
Oh, goodness. Well,
Sorry.
anyway, speaking of stuff getting canceled, there's not going to be a draft.
No draft.
Most likely, which on one hand, it makes sense, right? Like, everything else is canceled. You can't really evaluate these players, but at the same time, you kind of have to at some point, right? I mean, I know June is a terrible time to have a draft.
Yeah,
anyway.
it's terrible.
You know, it's like, that's so awkward and so weird. But at the same time, like, what do you do with the college seniors? I mean, not all those guys are going to go back and play
Right.
every year. Like, they don't want
Even though
to.
they may be able
you know?
to, right? The NCAA has said
Yeah.
that they can. But
Mhm.
now, like, I don't want to go back to college. Do you?
No way. I mean, I already did. I don't want to do it again.
Exactly.
No.
Me too.
Yeah, no, not a chance. And I wouldn't want to if I was those players. Like, I'm
No,
done.
man.
Why? No. I want to go to the next
Yep.
step. Like, I think what they should just postpone it or do it by video conference because most of those players aren't at the draft anyway.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So-
Like, why cancel the draft?
Yeah, there's no reason to. Just have it by video conference. You can still televise
Yes.
that, right? Like there's no reason not to have the
Look.
draft. And it's so weird to me that they're even entertaining.
The
the
only
idea.
reason they're not having a draft is because they can't gather money. Right? They can't put on an event.
true.
They can't sell airtime. They can't sell advertising time. They can't put advertisers, logos, and banners and stuff, whatever. That's why they're not doing the draft. It has
Well, they can. I still think they can sell airtime. Honestly,
well,
like I said, they could just have everybody on a video conference, even if it's like the GM and the owner and the president and all the scouts or whatever. Even if they're like on their own video conference, and then you have one spokesperson tapped into the Major League Baseball
Yeah.
feed, like you could still televise that,
You
and
could.
then sell airtime to that because at this point, I'll watch anything. I would tune in for that, and I have never in my life watched the Major League Draft.
me neither. Not one time.
Not one time,
Mm-mm.
and I would watch it if they did that because there's nothing else to watch. There's no other baseball,
That's true.
and there
Except
may or may
the
not
Savannah
be at that time.
Bananas. Savannah
The-
Bananas went live.
No way.
Well, because it's Friday night. I think they're doing it tomorrow.
Are they playing?
I think they're going to stage a game and go live. Like a
Oh,
I don't know. And they're live streaming it on Facebook. Now, that's supposed to be tomorrow, so this come out Monday. Hopefully it happened on Saturday, but that's what I heard.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm putting it on the group, so you all
Yeah.
hear about it. But
That's really interesting, huh? Yeah. Well,
so somebody's
and
going to
we'll-
find
and
a
we'll
way to
kinda
hook
get
us
into
up.
that. We'll kind of get into more of that later too, because we're going to talk
Yeah.
about what a condensed season might look like.
Yeah.
So one last thing here, Brig, you brought this up to me. Minor league players getting paid.
Yeah.
I think that's good for them. You know, I mean, they don't get paid
mean-
much during spring training as it is, but it'd be pretty crappy for them to have to go home and figure something out. You know, when
Yeah.
they're planning on getting paid during this time. So
And look, baseball players are suddenly in the same boat as everybody else. There's tons of people getting laid off. There's tons of people getting their hours cut dramatically, and it's affecting pay constantly everywhere I turn. And I work in employment, so like I see this all the time, okay? So this is no different, and we shouldn't, I think we should be careful that we're not like, oh, these poor baseball players, when it's happening to HR personnel and it's happening to food services personnel and it's happening to everybody, right? But at the same time, they had a reasonable expectation of pay, and I think Major League Baseball, Minor League Baseball came together and made the right decision to afford them some monetary value, that's the dumbest thing I ever said, to afford them some compensation given the expectation that they had. Now, they're only going to get paid through April 8th, but at least it's better than nothing. And that's the level of corporate responsibility I expect.
right, I totally agree with you on that. Yeah, they were planning on the money, and it wasn't like it was like, well, you were planning on it because you were working the hours. You were planning on it because we invited you here.
Right. It was contract.
Yes. Like you could have planned on doing something else during this time, but we offered you this time to come work out for us, and we were going to pay you such. So, and it's not like it's like, I mean, it was in the budget too,
It's already in the budget. That's exactly
it's already in
what
the
I'm
budget,
saying.
so they might, so they might as well do it. And I think it's great. It is going to be a bummer once April 8th comes, because then they are going to have to find other jobs. They're not going to be getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it is a select group too. It's only guys on the 40-man roster.
You're right. Totally.
So like the guys, the guys in the minor league camp aren't going to be getting paid.
No. And that is super
Which is a
unfortunate.
bummer, but at the same time, I don't think they were getting paid anyway, besides like a per diem.
Right.
So,
I don't know.
It's tough. It's tough for everybody right now, and that's one of the things that I wanted to say real quick before we go to break. That, we say all this stuff, and we're not taking light of anything that's going on with the state of society, of the world right now. We just want this to be a little break for everybody, because it's a nice little break for us. We want you to come here for a break from the seriousness and the awfulness that's going on right now.
Yeah.
So with that, let's take a break, and we'll get back. We're going to talk about Joe Madden.
COVID-19, better known as coronavirus, has spread throughout the world. There are a few ways to help lower the spread of this respiratory disease. Wash your hands. Avoid touching your face, including mouth, nose, and eyes. Cover your coughs and sneezes. Monitor your symptoms and consult with your doctor. Stay at home and away from other sick people except for medical care. Clean and disinfect high-touch surfaces. For more information, please visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Thank you.
Welcome back, baseball family. Before we get into the next section, Brad and I just want to apologize for our compulsive face touching.
You can't help it.
We seem to be completely unable to follow our own advice and the advice of all the friggin' experts out there who seem to know what they're talking about.
Yep.
But we want to assure you that the fact that we're touching our faces, even though we know it's wrong, doesn't affect you at all. So thank you for being here.
That's right. Well, it doesn't help that I
safe.
have my beard, and so that it's not good. Not a good situation. Try not to touch your face.
For me, it's allergy season, and I'm just like, everything's, itches and puffy, and it's stupid. Anyway, that has nothing to do with baseball. Something that is baseball related is Joe Madden. Let's just talk about Joe Madden, because every time I turn around, and every time the planets align, and every time there's some kind of like wind that gusts in just the perfect, sort of direction, at speed or whatever, he decides to tell us what he thinks about things, which I think is awesome. Mm-hmm. But I'm getting a little sick of it.
Oh, and see, I'm okay with it, because I feel like he's one of the smartest guys in baseball. I'm like, tell me what you think, Joe. Tell me what you think about it.
I agree, and I'm not against people vocalizing and being outspoken. However, I just think that Joe Madden always trying to change baseball, and I'm like, not about that life. So
That's true.
Joe Madden is suggesting that this shortened season, let's say the season actually takes place, and it is shorter. He says this is the perfect opportunity to play with it. Let's play with it, man. Let's experiment with rule changes and let's figure out what works and what doesn't work and why. So we're gonna make the 2020 baseball season a petri dish, bunch of them.
Yeah,
that's what Joe Madden wants.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with him. I mean, let's go back to 100 games, right? If we end up seeing a 100 game season,
I think that's reasonable.
Why not just throw the robot umpires in there? See how it works. I mean, I feel like any team who wins the World Series this year, it's gonna kind of be like, well, yeah, but that was the coronavirus shortened season.
True.
Right? Just like if there's a strike shortened season. Well, it was a strike shortened season. They didn't have to go through the whole grind of it. Because if you shorten the season to 100 games, it's anybody's. It's up for grabs.
Oh, right? Yeah, dude.
Because most teams can play 100 good games. Well, not 100, but you've only really got to win 65 games to get there.
Yeah.
Tops.
That's right.
And
if you can pull off 80, we might as well give you the crown.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. So Throw the robot umpires in there. What else? Let play with the playoff structure. I mean, because if you were to shorten how long the playoffs go, you can actually play a little bit deeper into October, right?
Mhm.
So
Maybe.
make it a 12-team double eliminate. If I could talk, it'd be a whole lot easier to do this.
Listen, Brad, it's such a bad idea, you can't even verbalize it.
It probably is a bad idea, but I was going to say a 12-team round-robin double elimination tournament.
Not unless they reseed as they go. But
Well, you have to with the round-robin, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd have to. Or just take the round-robin out. Just how about a double elimination tournament? 12 teams. 6 from the AL, 6 from the NL. You got 2 teams of the bye. Just double elimination. It'd be like playing high school or summer ball all over again.
oh yeah, I just don't like it.
I mean,
It's
you only
okay.
have to do it for a year.
No, because if it goes well under completely irrelevant circumstances that hopefully we never see again, people are going to be like, yeah, but it worked. Be like, yeah, but your control was flawed. Your experiment is fundamentally flawed.
And I think that Major League Baseball could just say, this is a one-time deal because of the circumstances. We're just going to do it this way. Just A, to shorten the playoffs, and B, because we want to see what a tweaked playoff system looks like.
I'm not saying they won't do it. I'm saying I don't think they should do it.
Oh, and that's why I was saying they should or they could, because they can have that little caveat there, right?
But they're going to caveat everything this season anyway if it actually
yeah.
happens.
Everything's going to have an asterisk next to it.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, when we go
So-
back and watch the 30 for 30 in 5 to 10 years, like,
Right,
oh yeah,
or
it was
20
the shortened MLB season. That's
In
right.
2035. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to touch my face again. Yeah, you're right.
Adjusted my glasses.
Yeah.
Right. At the exact same time.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's so bad.
I'm going to sit
It's so
on these
bad.
hands. I'm going to try that. See if that
It's a good idea.
works.
I'll do it too.
I feel like a
I'll do it too.
12-year-old.
There we go. All right.
Sit on your
I don't know how long it's
hands.
gonna last. I don't know how long it's gonna last though. I talk with my hands too much. But we'll
Me
see.
too. Now I look awkward.
But okay, so now Brig, if they were to mess with any of the proposed rules, which one would you prefer to see?
I'd be okay with the 3-batter minimum for pitchers,
Okay.
which they were going to do anyway. But I mean, like,
Right.
I'd do that one. I'd be okay with. I mean, the glove thing I suggested earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, minimum 3 adjustments. I don't know.
And let's go in the opposite direction of that. How about we would toy with making guys keep 1 foot in the box?
No, I
You
think that should
cannot
be a
step
rule
out
anyway.
of the box. It should be.
I
But the
think
reason
so.
Major League Baseball won't do it is because they're all creatures of habit.
Oh,
So
yeah,
make them all keep 1 foot in the box. You have to do it for 1 season. Just do it. You have to do it for 100 games. Just deal with it.
There
no
you go.
more walking around, kicking your shoes around, whatever.
Yeah.
If the ball reaches the catcher's glove, you have to keep your foot in the box. Foul ball, go around, do whatever you need to do.
Right.
But yeah, no.
I
if
like
the ball
that.
reaches the catcher's glove, keep 1 foot in the box. I think that's something they could toy with.
That's a
And
pretty
not
good
even toy
idea,
with it,
Brad.
Just run it and say this could be coming because you take too long.
That's a pretty good idea.
So there's that one.
I think I would I'd like to see the warm-up reduced.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like cut that out. You
Yeah,
got to give a
like-
guy a couple, sure, but you don't need
He doesn't
40
need
minutes.
8. Yeah, he doesn't need 8 pitches on that mound.
He doesn't need
Guys got 5 pitches, throw 5 pitches. Guys got 3
4.
pitches, throw 2 fastballs and 2
really good
curveballs and a
changeup.
changeup.
Yeah, exactly. No, I
Yeah,
say you
don't-
limit it to 4. Cut it right in half. You get 4. You choose which ones you want to work on.
There you go.
Everybody
there you
gets
go.
4. Speed this thing right along. And if by that third pitch, if by the third pitch the batter is not in the on deck circle, ready to walk up to the plate, then we got a problem, right? The umpire needs
not
to be
even
out
in the
there.
on deck circle. Have him in the dirt circle.
There
Waiting
you
to
go.
Step into
Get-
the box.
Yeah, the umpire need to be like, get up here, go now.
Yeah, get it moving. I agree with you. Yeah, for sure.
So I like that. That we'd have to listen to Joe Buck less too. That'd be cool.
Why does everybody hate Joe Buck?
I don't know actually. Let's take a minute and talk about that. Because I was telling my wife about this the other day. She said, why does everybody hate Joe Buck? And here's what I told her. I said, I don't know. It's just one of those things you do. It's just fun. It's fun to hate Joe Buck. I don't know why, but we just do it. It's just a baseball thing, and it's wider than baseball, but it's definitely
it is,
and especially a baseball thing.
Yeah, because he does the NFL on Fox too, and he doesn't he gets a lot of hate there too.
I told her, I said, look, I don't even think the people that started it are alive or remember what it was when they started it, but we all caught on, and that's just what we do.
Yeah, and I heard something this week actually about it where they said that it might be that people think his voice is like pretentious, and also like there's a little bit of an element of nepotism because of his dad.
Okay,
but which I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see the nepotism. That's fine. But I really like listening to him. I like listening to Joe Buck.
Did you just say that? Did you just publicly announce that you like Joe Buck?
Is the most controversial thing I have ever said in my life.
Watch out now. I'm about to touch my face. Brad.
Putting your health at risk with my hot takes.
Yeah. I had to do the Home Alone face for you because, like, holy crap.
I could hear it.
You seriously. Look, I would love to back you up, and maybe privately I will later, but I'm not going to publicly say that. I'll lose too much face.
Can't take the ratings hit.
I got street cred to hang on to, man. I only got this much. Very small right now.
But yeah, no, I think he does a good job because okay, and this is like the one thing, okay? He understands when to let a moment breathe, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
I think not everybody does that. The great ones do, but not all of them do it. He does a good job with it.
Whoa.
I have no problem with his voice. I have no problem with any of that. I do think the memes are hilarious, though.
They're hilarious.
Like, so funny.
It's true.
But, yeah. No,
dude,
I don't get it.
That was amazing. That just happened.
It did just
The whole world knows now.
Yeah, that's right. The whole world knows. I have no problem with Joe Buck.
So my baseball family, we will catch you next week where it will be me by myself. The fallout, I'm assuming, will be enormous. And Brad's going to need to take a week off. No, just
Very well
kidding.
could.
No, I think, anyway, back to the rule thing. Okay. I think we're going to see they're going to mess with some stuff. Mm-hmm. But do you think they'll change? Do you think they'll break away from what they've already said they're going to implement and do more? Are they going to take more latitude this year than they've already announced?
Well, so I think it is an opportunity to take. So, like, they have the rules they implemented, right?
Yeah.
But then they have the other rules they've talked about, like we said, like robot umpires.
Sure.
Right? Like, throw the robot umpires in there. It's like it's 100 games, you can deal with it, or whatever it is, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's an opportunity to take some of the rules that they've kind of kicked around a little bit, maybe some of the stuff they've done in the Atlantic League.
Right.
Take some of that in, you know, because you can just say it's just for a year. We're just testing it because this is kind of a throwaway year anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So why not? You know, we can just take that stuff and it doesn't have to stay. It doesn't, and technically nothing has to stay.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
If they do that 3-batter minimum this year, they're going to be doing the 3-batter minimum this year. And if everybody decides they hate it, they can be like, okay, yeah, that didn't work. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the NBA changed its ball.
Right.
The whole ball, they changed it, and it lasted like half a season.
Yeah.
All.
They went back.
So you can always change and revoke rules if you want to. Like, you don't have to stick with stuff just because it's there.
I don't think Rob Manfred thinks that way, though.
I agree with you, unfortunately, that he feels like if something's there, it has to be there to stay, and I don't know.
That's wrong.
Because
that's like broken.
robot umpires, they can test it for 100 years like it seems like they're going to, and then get it, because from what it seems like what his thing is robot umpires are going to be here to stay once they get here. Just throw it in there for a season. If it doesn't work, if you don't like it, if it ends up causing more problems, you just get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. Make a decision, man.
Yeah.
I know they say that all the time with him, but man alive.
Right. Grow a spine, dude.
For reals. Mr. Jellyfish.
Or just get Joe Torre to make all your decisions for you. Or better yet, why don't we just dismiss him and everybody he brought on to help him make these terrible decisions? Sorry, Joe Torre. And because I love Joe. But I got to be honest.
I think in a vacuum he would do a good job too.
Yeah, but with all of the
and by that I mean without any Manfred's
influence.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like with all the stuff that's gone on, and because Manfred is as spineless as he is, I gotta wonder if Joe Torre how much is he involved in these decisions?
I wonder if he's just biding his time.
Maybe.
If maybe he's just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to play the game. I'm going to shake hands and kiss babies with these owners. And by the time Manfred gets fired or decides to retire because he can't handle this, I'm going to be the next guy in line, and it's going to look really good, and I'll get the job.
Mm-hmm. He will.
You know, that maybe he's just kind of being the good soldier for now, and then when the time comes, he can say, listen, this is how it's going to be. This is what you're going to do. And I'm going to do it my way because I want to. Because I'm Joe freaking Torre.
Yeah. Well, I hope he does. But
me too.
What I actually hope for is that Bob Costas becomes the next commissioner of baseball. I keep saying it because I believe that is the right decision.
Well, do you know he's been asked about it recently? Did you know
No.
that?
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, Dan Patrick asked him about it like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. He said, would you ever consider becoming the commissioner of Major League Baseball? You know what he said?
What?
Never.
Whoa, get out of here.
Not a chance. Because he says he's too much of a fan of the game.
Yeah, okay.
I believe is what he said. Which I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You got to respect that.
So,
See, but that makes him the perfect candidate, Brad.
The guy who says no is the perfect guy.
That's the perfect guy, dude. He's like, no, I love this game too much. Well, that's why you should be the guy. Not that Joe.
That's why we want
Not
you.
that Joe Torre doesn't love the game. That dude loves the game. I don't know about Rob Manfred. He says he loves the game. I'm a little confused, but
yeah.
But I mean, that.
I don't know if Rob Manfred even knows what the game is these days.
That's what I'm saying. But that right there reinforces my opinion.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go. All right. Let's take a break.
Exactly
When we come back, we're going to talk about what this season might actually look like for realsies. And then, and that's it, I think.
Something like that.
All right.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back with me. Root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Shop kids' baseball shirts at 9pluss.com.
Welcome back, baseball family. So this was a topic that I thought we could save for a little bit longer, but honestly, it was really weighing on my mind heavily this week. So I texted Brig and I said, hey, I've got a topic for us. What would the MLB season look like if it's shortened? Like, how many games would they play? How would they arrange those games? And then what would you do going forward? So that's what we're going to talk about. What would the MLB season look like if we got to play it? If they actually played the season. So,
yep.
Here we go. I'll start with mine. Are you ready?
Well, I think yours is the best, so let's just do yours because it's awesome.
All right, so I mentioned earlier that I thought June 1st was like best case scenario, so that's what I went with. I picked best case scenario. That I honestly don't think that they're going to be playing games in May. Okay.
Well, I don't think so either. Yeah, I totally agree.
So first off, I don't think that there's going to be any gate at any of these games. I think it's going to be a season without fans. I mean, am I outrageous in thinking that?
I think. Well, man, I didn't even think about that.
Because I mean,
Did you know that a team makes up 40% of their profits in the ballpark with tickets and concessions and stuff like that?
it makes sense. I mean, I believe it.
It's like 40% of their revenue generates from fan attendance in person.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate that they might end up not having fans there this season.
Right. I didn't even think about that. If they continue to play the whole season without fans, that's a nightmare doomsday scenario.
It is.
For
Well, and the reason I say
especially
that,
small market teams.
yeah, and the reason I say that is because I read a report a couple days ago that said this whole thing could go on for 18 months.
Yeah.
That
it could.
in waves, like up and down. Like we'll have a little bit like spans of normal life, and then we'll go back to quarantining and things like that. But it could take up to 18 months to be in the clear with this. And I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that's what I read. Okay, that's what I read.
Right,
online.
and
so
I hope that is so false.
So do I. I absolutely do too. But at the same time, like if that's the case, then I don't think there's going to be fans in ballparks this year. And playing in front of an empty stadium is not unprecedented. A few years ago, when there was the Baltimore riots going on, the Orioles and White Sox played in an empty stadium. And honestly, it was kind of a fun game to watch because if they keep the same number of shotgun mics out there, you can really hear what's going on. It's like everybody's mic'd up, and the players had the players had some fun with it. And I'm sure one or two games, they had some fun with it, and I'm sure it'd eventually get really old, but they're having fun. Like they would go as they got the third out, they were running to the dugout. They'd toss the ball up into the empty stands like they were thrown to a fan, and they would even wave the ball like who wants it, and then they'd throw it. I think Chris Davis even threw it into the upper deck just because there was nobody there to hurt with it, So,
That's awesome.
So, the guys can kind of have some fun with it, and I'm sure, like I said, the first few games it'll be fun, but then it'll get really old, really quiet. It'll be like playing in high school again for most of those guys.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There's a level of purity to not having any fans there, but at the same time, I like to go to baseball games. So,
yeah, I do too.
So
I think I'm really hoping that we get at least August, September. At this point, everything's so slow and they're being so careful, which I think is appropriate.
Right.
But I think that we should not expect to attend a ball game until August or September, August at the soonest.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree. So, if the season does happen, I said June 1st is the absolute best case scenario. So, this is what I have. Are you ready, Brig?
I'm ready, man.
Here we go. Okay. So, I have 122 games. Oh, sorry. It's going to start June 1st, go through September 30th. So, that's 122 days. Okay.
Yeah.
17 weeks, 3 days. Now, I have 102 games in that period.
Yeah.
Okay. That's grueling. That's a lot in a short amount of time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot going on. And the way that breaks down is it breaks down to exactly 8 games against each league opponent. So, I'm a Mariners fan. I'll go with the Mariners. So, 8 games against the Astros.
You're a Mariners fan?
Right.
Sorry. You don't say.
Oh.
No, I didn't know that.
Breaking news.
Oh, okay.
So anyways.
All right, so the Mariners.
That's 8 games against the Astros, Angels, A's, Rangers, and then 8 games against the Yankees, Red Sox, Rays, everybody. There's no interleague play, though. Okay,
right, 0.
Yeah, because it breaks down perfectly to have 8 games against 14 teams. That's 102.
Yeah, there you go.
So, and then, like I said, no interleague play. Each team plays a Saturday doubleheader every other week, and that gives you 1 day off per week for the entire season. Which doubleheaders are tough, but what you could also do is you could expand the rosters, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a 26-man go up to 30, 35 maybe, bring the whole 40-man roster up this year. I don't know.
Whoa. Okay.
Getting crazy with the 40-man roster.
Easy, Rob. Easy, Rob.
But
Okay.
you'd have to expand the rosters because that's a lot of games
Yeah,
in
you would.
not very long period, you know?
Yeah. Which I think would be really cool, actually. Not
would be
maybe
cool,
all the way to
'cause-
40, but that's
Yeah.
true. The CDC won't let us have 40 people in the same dugout. But
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of violations going on.
don't call the fire marshal. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
But no, like I bring it up to 30. You get a couple extra
Yeah.
pitchers in there, a couple extra position players.
Yes.
I think it would be good. And there are honestly I would love that because there are guys in the Mariners minor league system who I can't wait to see. I would like to see them.
Me too.
So
Yeah, I'm with you. Across
All
the
right.
league, actually. Yeah. I'm
yeah,
with you.
absolutely. There are minor leaguers who I'd like to see. And it as far as service time goes, it might benefit them. It might hurt them. I don't know. I'm sure
we'll
I'm
see.
sure the clubs wouldn't like it, but whatever. However that shakes out.
Right.
Okay. So double headers every other week, every other Saturday. No All-Star game. Not enough time to do an All-Star game. I mean, whether you're
I love
playing
that.
102 games in 122 days, it doesn't matter. You've only got a 122 day season. There's not going to be an All-Star game this year.
Yeah.
I heard somebody proposing well, you got to fit the All-Star break, and they're like, no, there's not going to be an All-Star game. That's stupid.
It's stupid.
No time for an All-Star break.
Yeah, it's true.
And then, like I said, the season ends September 30th, and the playoffs proceed as normal on October 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So
That's
What do you think,
jamming it
Brig?
in there, man.
it is. It's aggressive, but these guys are professionals. I trust that they can do it. Because, there are times they play 15 games in 17 days.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
true. But then they go way the other way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that. Is if they can expand the roster to deal with management, injury management, and stuff like that. I like it. I
Yeah.
do like that a lot better than the proposals we've heard about playing the playoffs in the World Series at Christmas.
Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not
It's not
going to
going to work.
Yeah, you can do neutral sites. You can go. You could technically play in Seattle in December because
Sure,
because
because
of
they're
the
not going to
dome.
make it.
No, they're not. And you've got a neutral site option. Hey, I have no delusions of grandeur about Seattle making the World Series, even in a shortened season.
How about we play the first two games in T-Mobile Park, then the next two games to the Trop, and then
No,
we
no,
do
no.
1-1-1.
Don't. You can't go to the Trop. You cannot go to the Trop. How about
How about Arlington's new cemetery? Holy
it
crap!
might be.
Mm-hmm.
No, you could play in the new Arlington Stadium. I would
Yeah,
say
there you
Chase, but I read some stuff recently that I don't know if they're going to even be playing games there this year. There's some roof issues. But
Oh no, really?
LA is nice in December, right?
Yeah, LA's nice and it's outdoor. That'd be better for quarantine purposes and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if I'd go to Chavez Ravine just because it's a disaster getting in and out of that place. But
That's true.
go down south to Anaheim, play at Angel Stadium.
There you go. Anaheim,
Or
San
even-
Diego.
or
Petco.
even-
Petco's gorgeous.
Petco, yeah, that's where I was headed next. Head down to San Diego. Everybody loves San Diego in December.
Petco's amazing, dude. Well, and if we're talking about San Diego, why don't we all go to Marlins Stadium down in Miami?
Yeah, there you go. That's another great one. That's a stadium that's
Marlins
been waiting to
Park
be
is
used since they
beautiful,
built
man.
it.
That retractable roof, that's
Yeah.
that big wall that comes down or that
Yeah.
slides open. I've been there, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's one of the ones that's on my bucket list. I want to make it to Marlins Stadium. And like I said, that's a stadium that's been waiting to be used since they built it. So
Yeah, you right.
So why not? Why not? I know they're going to be using it for the World Baseball Classic next year, but get some use in December. Warm it up a little bit.
Warm it up. Let me come down and warm it up with you.
Absolutely. So yeah, there is plenty of places they could play, but they would have to definitely be neutral site.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the players would like that too, because if you play 7 games in one place and no travel, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
Spend
Whoa.
a week and a half in South Beach,
Or in
but then you
Petco
got to deal with
in
the South
San
Beach
Diego?
flu. Yeah, and so I'd rather actually put it at Petco. I think
I would
think
too.
that's
Petco,
the
man.
place to do it.
That's a great ballpark.
it is. That is a beautiful park, and
Yeah.
it might be the only time they get a World Series.
Yeah. Host one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
unfortunately.
about that, man. I
but-
think San Diego's got something coming in the next few years.
I do too. I think they do too.
With Fernando Tatis and
Yeah, man.
Machado, and I just
Can
think,
Speaking of Tatis, Fernando Tatis Jr. So we were, last week we did the episode, the spring training episode,
Yeah.
and the Mariners were playing the Padres, the game we went to, and I was like, oh sweet, Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis, those are like two of my favorite guys. We got to see Manny Machado. We were on the third base line. He was right there.
nice.
That was awesome. Tatis did not play that day.
Oh,
I was so upset. We walked by
Yeah.
and saw, because they have the starting lineups on like whiteboards outside the
yeah.
stadium, which is super cool the way they do
That's
that.
cool.
It's just like, oh, man, probably missed him by a day.
Yeah, you probably, or it's one of those days where they're playing half the roster in one ballpark, half the roster in
could've
the
been a
other,
split
something
squad,
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was a split squad now that you mention it, but
Mm-hmm.
but no, for reals though, I think you're right. I think San Diego could be getting a World Series here pretty soon, but at the same time, like I don't think there's any other neutral site that would be better if San
Yeah.
Diego's not playing in it.
So let
I
me
think
ask
that's
you
the
this then:
spot.
would you rather see the season extend a little further into the year, or would you rather do your very aggressive, grueling 102 games or 100 games or whatever it was in, and make it to October 3? Like,
The only
which one
reason-
serves the fans better?
So the only reason I like really wanted to start the playoffs as usual is because if the World Series extends at all, you start to get into snowouts.
Yeah, that's true.
And I am not here for snowouts. I do not like watching baseball in snow.
No.
Baseball is not meant to be played in snow. So if
Yeah.
you were to extend the season deeper and maybe play the playoffs in like November, December, and get the playoffs around or the World Series around Christmas time, you might have to play the whole playoffs in San Diego.
Right. That's true.
So, yeah, that's my only hesitation with that.
That's a good point.
Because I don't want to be watching these guys play in snow, watch it get snowed out, and have to finish the game the next day, and then
Well,
play a doubleheader
injuries
or
and-
whatever.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, so that's really why I pushed it to October 3.
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. And if you expand the roster, it's possible. If you don't expand the roster, it's not possible.
Yeah, and I think they're going to expand the rosters anyway. I think they're going to have to with a shortened season, just because they're going to try to be getting so many games in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
That I think we're going to see expanded rosters this year and beyond the 26 man that we already see.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to have to lift blackout restrictions.
Oh yeah, they have to. They really.
I mean,
should,
they're going to
especially
have to
if there's
do
no
that
fans.
anyway, but they're going to have
Yeah.
to do it with a short season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gosh, I hate blackout restrictions.
Man,
I live in Western Idaho and I can't watch the Mariners on MLB TV.
it's so stupid, man.
It's the worst. It is absolutely terrible.
The only reason all my neighbors pay for cable, the only reason they pay for cable or satellite or whatever is because the
Like-
Braves, they can't get the Braves game on MLB TV, man.
Yeah. Like that's
Can't
one
do
thing. Baseball needs to get with the times. We talked about cord cutting. It's the way of the world now. You have to understand that's what's going to be. People
Yep.
consume their baseball with MLB TV.
Yeah.
And if I'm paying for a subscription, I should be able to watch any game I want.
Yep.
So
For $120 a year? Heck yeah, dude.
yeah, no kidding, man. For
Yeah.
real.
Well, I
For
just
real.
think that with the shortened season, that's going to have to be accelerated.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and that's a good opportunity to make that argument, right? This is a perfect
Mhm.
opportunity for that.
I
I think
agree,
they should
yeah.
have televised spring training games.
There were some that were
Yeah, but
televised. You
it's
could,
not
you could
enough.
get them every once in a while, but no, not enough. As I was flying down to Arizona, actually, I watched the Yankees and Red Sox on the plane.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good time. I was like, nice, a little primer. It was fun.
Yeah. I was at a work lunch that day,
Yeah.
or I think it was that day. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I think your plan is aggressive, and I like
yeah.
it. I like it a lot because all of the arguments you made make a whole heap of sense.
Well, and you could easily, I feel like you could kind of lean it a little bit toward what we have now as far as uneven play against other league opponents, right?
Yeah.
Like play 7 games against the Central instead of 8, and then play 8 games against the East. You can do that, but this way the schedule is completely even for everybody. The Astros aren't benefiting from playing 8 games against the Mariners, where, and then 4 games against the Yankees.
Yep.
Instead, the Yankees have to play 8 games against the Astros, 8 games against the Mariners, 8 games against the Red Sox. So makes for a perfectly even schedule, and you can truly gauge where everybody is entering the playoffs.
I love it. And then they've never seen the other teams, and it becomes a more pure playoff race. I like that.
Yeah, that's right. You get to the World Series, and you haven't seen that team. That's a great point.
Yeah,
I like it.
I've never been a huge fan of interleague play anyway.
It feels, and I understand you have to do it now because of league balance.
Right.
There's 15 teams in each, so you have to have an interleague play series pretty much every day. Yeah, every day actually. But yeah, no, it feels, interleague play has always felt like a gimmick.
Yep. Yep.
It's always felt off balance to me. So I'm not a huge fan of it either. But at the same time, I mean, it is fun getting to see the Angels and Dodgers play and the Yankees and Mets play.
I mean, I agree with you. The Subway Series is a perfect example. It's a perfect example. But at the same time, like, why don't we pick one interleague opponent per year and do one series interleague, and that's it? And it could be your interleague rival, just like the Yankees-Mets, crosstown rival. That's the only one available. If they expand to 2 more teams and we go to 16 and 16, AL, NL, you could cut all interleague play except for that one series.
Yep.
That would be
that would be it should be
perfect.
That would be,
because you got to play your crosstown rival. You have to.
Yeah, you do because I mean that helps with the gate.
Yeah,
it helps with TV ratings, and there's so much that goes into that you have to do it. I totally agree. That it's pretty much necessary to do that.
It is. Well, it's just so much fun.
Yeah,
it
really is.
It's just a riot. So I think that if we go to two more teams, we get 32 teams. We go 16 and 16. Yeah, just like I said, right? Man, I just got all goosebumpy. That's woo. It's another drop in the bucket on that argument right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Loving it.
Even things out. Well, baseball family, let us know what you think about a shortened season. We're not going to rule out the season yet.
Nope.
And this is for argument. This is for argument's sake. We're going to have a season for argument's sake, and let us know. Let's set the point of June 1st, June 1. How do you think it should it go farther into August, like in November, like Brig suggested, to get more games and spread them out a little bit more, or do you like my aggressive, get them all done within the confines of the season and play some doubleheaders? Because why not? Let's play 2, right?
Yeah.
So
no, I like it.
Let us know what you think. Comment on Baseball Together on the Facebook group. You can comment on YouTube. You can always find us on YouTube. And let us know what you think. We want to have a conversation about this.
Don't forget to jump on the shop as well. We got 9plusus.com is how you get it. You can spell it out, NINEPLUSUS.com. That's where you get all the sweet swag we're wearing, guys. This is our 42 series that I've been wearing today. I know I got a technical difficulty with my camera right now, so you can just hear me. But the point is that the stuff you see us wearing is all available on the shop.
That's right.
And we just launched a autism awareness series. It's the Baseball Together logo, the podcast logo, with a special color combination for autism awareness. We are raising funds for Alternative Baseball. It's an organization that helps kids with differently abled kids and kids with autism get to play baseball, the game we all love. 20% of our profits are going to that cause from that line. We got you T-shirts, totes, sweatshirts, hoodies, tank tops, kids, adults, all the way up to 4X. So jump on the shop.
All the way down to onesies.
Yeah, all the way down to onesies. So jump on the shop, check it out. 20% of those profits go to supporting people getting the opportunity to play baseball. So while you're stuck at home, you might be able to get yourself something nice.
There you go. And don't forget to jump on baseballtogether.com. I'm stuck at home right now, so I feel like I'm going to have some time here in a little bit to write something for you, maybe put together a video, like a little highlight video of mine and Wilson's trip down to Phoenix. And speaking of Wilson, if you haven't watched his segment of the podcast, you can actually check that segment by itself on YouTube. Wilson on Spring Training, I believe is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun. He did a good job recapping our trip. It was a good time. But baseball family, don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, review the podcast. Tell your friends about us. Everybody stay safe out there, and we will catch you next week.